view that the judgment of the Constitutional Court is really weird. It is weird because of the argument it has provided, but on the other hand, if you look carefully at the judgment, actually the first part of the judgment and the ruling, it is a huge contradiction. Because what Constitutional Court did in this judgment, it simply provided us with more in-depth information on the spirit of our Constitution, and then the ruling was totally a different thing, not based on the spirit of the Constitution that they again presented for the public in the judgment. But let's go back and say something more about quotas. Whether quotas in general are discriminatory, whether we still need quotas or not. I'm currently an acting dean of the Faculty of Law and of the University of Pristina. It's the oldest public university, the largest one in the Balkans maybe. I've been teaching there for many, many years, but for the first time I have a senior position there. As an acting dean, which means I'm not elected, I'm appointed because the previous dean got retired, and what I'm actually doing simultaneously, preparing the space for elections for the new dean. As a dean, I also represent the Faculty of Law, my department, at the Senate of the university. At the Senate, we have another body, a collegium of deans, and there, can you imagine, I'm the only woman. The only woman simply because the university is not electing female deans at all. But the worst thing that I experienced myself is that in the university senate are representatives of students. If you look at the statistics, the female students represent 53% of the students of the University of Pristina. Only a month ago, actually 3 weeks ago, we honored the best students of the university. The 3 female students that were honored by the university from the legal studies department are all female. How come? Simply because we did not choose them, but computer did. Simply the best students happen to be women. On the other hand, none of the representatives of students are women. None. We do not have. We do not have quotas at the university. And with no quotas, we see that women students are never elected. Women deans are never elected. I happen to be a woman there in the Senate simply because I'm appointed. I'm not elected. We will see whether there are going to be in next elections women deans represented in the Senate or female women students represented in the Senate. So this is a perfect example in the most advantageous institution in the country where we do not have quota, we simply have zero representation of women. Now let's go back to the Constitutional Court and how come the Constitutional Court came up with this judgment. Is it a surprising thing or not? Actually, I see here a problem also with the referral, with the way actually members of the parliament ask the Constitutional Court to interpret whether the proposal for amending the Constitution was justified enough or provided the court with enough arguments. First, what made me a little upset is the fact that the proposal for amendment actually went to the Constitutional Court with no public participation at all. I mean, we as the people of Kosovo do deserve actually to be consulted, do deserve to take part in to take part in such an important decision. Maybe we as a public have more ideas. Maybe we could have provided with more arguments, the members of the parliament. When you spoke of quotas, you spoke of either constitutional or legal. And you never said actually anywhere that, I mean, constitutional quotas are the necessary if there is a possibility to have legal quotas. For me, even though I'm totally against the judgment, I mean especially of the arguments provided by the court. On the other hand, I do not think that really we need a constitutional amendment to provide quotas, legally binding quotas, for the government, because I do believe that we need quotas for the government too. However, to touch the Constitution that easily, even though the Constitution provides enough basis for mandatory legal quotas in the government. Number one, actually we have the most powerful legal quota and constitutional basis for the quota for the representative body for the parliament. Number one, we do have constitutional basis, and upon that, legal basis for mandatory quota. First, the first quotas that is provided in our electoral law is that all political parties should nominate women for the parliament. The second thing, this is not enough according to the law. We need to position women in the list properly. So we cannot get away, for example, with putting women in the list as, for example, 10 last candidates to be women, and not to encourage somehow people to vote for them. But there in the electoral law, we do have also an incentive, an encouragement, because we have proper range of mandatory putting women nominees. And the third thing, this is not enough, we have sanctions, because we do not allow at all to submit lists of political parties with no women at all. So they cannot, political parties cannot take part in elections at all if they don't provide women in their lists. In addition to all this, and this is plus, because we have all measures actually taken to have women elected, because we have reserved, guaranteed seats for women. So no matter whether people vote or don't for women, we have guaranteed seats for women. So we do have all proper guarantees, measures, and in addition, sanctions for having women in parliament. Second thing that for me it's kind of surprising, and it's really not enough action taken by our women representatives in the parliament. First, after 7 years of independence, we do not actually have any law on government. So I've never seen actually in any session of the parliament women protesting for that, because there would be the proper space and place actually to put legally binding rules on women participation in government, and no need in that case to go to the Constitutional Court. Why still I think this Constitutional Court judgment is not only weird, but it's scary? What if after that judgment women succeed and make pressure, succeed to have a law on government and binding quotas for participation of women in the government? What if a man complains and goes to the Constitutional Court? Constitutional Court has made a dangerous, very dangerous precedent for that. So this is why I think this judgment is weird, not only weird, but scary and dangerous at the same time. Thank you.
Thank you.